2, 1. 105K Jams, hip hop and R&B hits. All right, it's time for another interview with one of our PPBC Tulsa Music Award winners, and I am here with the lovely T. Rush. Hey, T. Rush.
Hi there.
Yeah.
I love it.
How are you doing?
I am okay. I'm doing good.
Yeah. You look lovely as ever.
Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So first of all, congratulations on being the R&B Trailblazer for the inaugural PPBC Tulsa Music Awards. And let me give you your official award letter from our program director, Terry Monday.
I need a frame.
Yes.
So
How do you
cool.
feel about that, T. Rush?
Sure, I am somebody. Somebody loves me out here. Now this is really big. This is huge.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So how long, you're an R&B Trailblazer in the year 2023. What does that title, that award title mean to you?
Oh, that's heavy. I didn't know that. So, I mean, it means my writing is not in vain. Somebody's listening. So that's huge. Yeah, I've been writing for a while. So to be put in the R&B category is really good because, I was like hip hop for a while. So
Yep, a little of both.
it's really good.
So how long has that been? You said you've been doing that for a while. How long has that been?
Both what, the hip hop or R&B?
All of it. When did you
Um,
start writing? When did you start singing? Tell us about your background a little bit.
Like honestly writing, this is probably after my first kid. Like when I really started writing music. So that was some years ago. It was a ways ago. It was a little time ago. But yeah, where I got serious with it, because at first it was like poetry.
Yeah.
And then it went into that. So it was like the whole slum village type of vibe. J Dilla was my thing. So that's when I first started really writing, was toward, with the J Dilla era. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I was encouraged. So it was like singing on top of that. So it was
Okay.
like a melodic, but it's a hip hop type of vibe.
Yeah.
And then it kind of went into trying to like sing. But of course I started in church.
Okay.
Of course it was church first. And that was like 12 and up, and just singing when I was younger just to sing. So I was singing first. Definitely was singing first with my family and stuff like that. Then the hip hop thing just kind of came around the J Dilla era. So.
Okay. Well, I know some history about your father was an artist, musician.
Right.
Can you tell us about him and where that inspiration came from?
So he's blues. He was just straight blues. I really never heard like any other type of vibe from him besides when he did like Barry White one time. That was kind of a little different, but other than that it was just James Brown, Johnny Taylor, his own. But it was all blues. So just listening to him and seeing all of his, it was like a Prince moment with the book, and you have all of the writing and all of the different songs. Yeah, I wish I knew what those books were. But yeah, so he wrote a lot of his music as well as doing a lot of cover songs as well. So that was cool, and just watching him do live performances and rehearsals at my home was like a thing to just sit and kind of just watch him
do his thing and create.
And it's loud, so it's just like the whole neighborhood could hear it, like this whole loud jam session at my house. So
I'm trying to manifest in my mind that it's that scene in Purple Rain when Prince finds his daddy's lyrics and he starts throwing the papers everywhere and then he starts playing. In case you didn't get the reference, I had to make sure we break it down. Yeah. I hope that you did too.
I know, right?
Yeah. And so your father has passed.
Yes.
And you said at one point there was a moment. I just remember you talking in another interview. I feel like this is on a podcast somewhere. There was a moment when he got to hear you sing live for the first time.
Yeah.
What was that like? That
was not like pretty much the year before he got sick. At a family reunion, we always do like a talent show with the rest of your family. It was like competition for real, but it's good.
Yeah,
it was like
friendly
healthy competition. Yeah. But we did that on reunions. It was like we coming together. What you doing? You doing a dance? You singing? You doing stuff? I was like, I'm gonna sing this time, and I'm gonna dedicate this song to my dad because during those reunions was the same time or the weekend of his birthday.
Okay.
So it was like I'm gonna dedicate this song to him, which is it Regina King? Is that her name? That You Can Reach Me If You Can, or whatever the song is. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm blanking out. I'm
Regina
trying to say
Bell?
Regina Bell.
Regina Bell.
Okay.
Who's Regina King?
I think that's an actress.
So Regina.
We have a lot of names in
It's
our
Regina.
minds.
Regina Bell. Yeah, it's like
Regina
Reach Me or
Bell.
whatever. So I sung that song. I think I did it with, because it's like instrumentals, I don't think was like a thing. So
Right,
I
you
think I had
have to
to
sing
sing it with it or whatever. And he listened to it. I don't know if I had my eyes closed or not. I'm trying to think if I did.
You probably did.
I probably did. But yeah, I'm trying to see like if I remember how he looked. But it seems like I seen him to my left, like watching it with like no emotion. And then afterwards it was like, I didn't know that girl could sing like that. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. And so he did kind of get emotional with it, but it was just like, yeah, I didn't know. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
I just love that moment. I love for you to, even though I've heard it a couple of times, I'm like, I'd like for you to tell that story because that's special, you know? And now you are carrying on his legacy.
Yeah.
Now, which is no surprise at all, while you have an entire music festival named after you, Rush Fest Music Festival, in year 6, 2023.
Yeah.
Here we are. I say here we are because I am your coordinator. Yeah. So there is no, you know. Yeah, I love Rush Fest. But tell us where that idea was birthed from and like what you wanted that to be initially.
It's multiple things. I think I wanted to say it's the first thing, but I think it all kind of came together in spurts. So it was being introduced to the live music scene here in Tulsa, which was the Yeti at the time, which was
Cypher 120.
Yeah, which I caught it late because I didn't know that had been going on for a while. Because I think before they were at the Yeti, they were at
that was probably the
few
third
different
venue.
places.
Yeah, the creative room before that. There was a spot called Blue. I think it was called Blue, and I may even be missing another one. Yeah, First Shop. And then they ended up at the Yeti. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got in kind of late.
Shout out to Rit and Quincy, who
Rit
started
Quincy.
that.
Yes, for sure. So got introduced to that from DG.
Who was a fabulous trumpet player.
Yeah, DG was like, you need to come here, you need to try it out. Yeah. But that was, he wanted me to try it out before I did J Parlay for the first time. That's where that came from. He was like, try it out to get all my wiggles out before J Parlay, which Jerica had no clue I was about to sing. She just told me, like, come tell my story. She was like, girl, I didn't even know you did music, like, at all. So that was, like, a whole thing. But, yeah, so when I got introduced to the live music scene, I was like, this is dope. Didn't even know we did this type of thing. And it brought me back to a place when I was younger, like, I love this. Because prior to, I didn't feel like I, like, had a place in Tulsa, honestly. It's like I was doing lashes and makeup and all the things. But as far as music, not really. Like, I was recording, you know, doing stuff, like, writing and stuff like that. And keeping it to myself. I didn't, you know, I did stuff here and there, shows, but like just doing live performances and stuff like that. Like when I found out that it was here in town, and I was like, this is it. Like I was big on like, I just need to get out of Tulsa, whatever. But at that time I was like, I want to be here. I want to do something in music here. Yeah. And I think I pretty much I started kind of like asking people, did they want to get together? Like Brand J, Faye, just different people. Like, you want to do a show? That's where it started. Like, you want to do a show, like, with just all of us together. And then I thought about it. It's like, my family's musical. We need to be doing this. I need to do something with my family because they're very talented. Like, it's a bunch of Russians. It's like the Russian family, like, that's very, very talented. So I pretty much wanted to get them together and all of these new people that I had just been introduced to for, like, one huge show. And that came together at the First Shop, which became, like, a huge event.
Yes.
Where we have vendors and all the things, and it was just like, oh, everyone just be a part with no funding or nothing. We just did it, and it was just like, oh, this is cool, but I'm exhausted. I don't know about that. And then it was like, we should do this again next year. And I was like, I definitely wasn't thinking about doing it again next year. But it became a thing, just putting people together for one show. Yeah. And it just continues because people ask for it. So
every single year, it has continued to grow. Now you up to 3 stages.
Yeah.
And
in need of 4 or 5.
We really do need 4.
Like, seriously. So 4, yeah.
So also tell us some more about you have a nonprofit now, Traveling Little Tea Party.
Yes.
I would like for you to explain how that came about.
Well, Traveling Little Tea Party started right before COVID. I actually did a program called the Black Upstart through TEDC. And that's pretty much creating something from the ground up within that program. And in my head, I already had this whole thing. It's like, I know I want my own like lounge, because my whole thing is making sure that artists have a platform specifically for art, just to be able to do music for that. Because it's like, for a lot of us as artists, we have platforms that we are introduced to or invited to, but they were like clubs and things like that. They were like loud, and they didn't really like put the full spotlight on the artists. So it was like, we just need a space that's just for artists, and people come and respect it just for that. So when I started the program, it was just like, I know I want a space just for artists. This is what I want here in Tulsa. And the lady that was over it, Kezia, which I think she was from Washington or somewhere, that did the class, she was like, you need to divorce your idea. Divorce that, start with something new or whatever, because she was big on travel. So she was just like, you need to try to do things outside of Tulsa instead of trying to be stationed, like do something else outside of Tulsa. And I was just like, but I know what I want. And she just kept saying, you need to divorce that idea. You're married to the idea, and you won't open like your mind to like other things. So with that, with me stripping like my whole idea down to something that was more mobile, it came where actually a lady had came into the class, and she had a Sprinter van, and she actually, I think ABC or something picked her up because she took a Sprinter van and she gutted it out. And she like tricked it out and like had us like, it's like super dope. And she would travel all around the world and take these pictures and just have this whole Instagram that was just dope of her travel in this Sprinter van that she lives out of pretty much. And they wanted to pick this up, like, we need to make a show out of her traveling. But she didn't catch it in time and didn't get to do it. And I think they took her idea and gave it to somebody else, ended up doing it, which was like, definitely need to like copyright your stuff.
Right. Get it in right.
Like, for real. Because that was like devastating. So in the midst of that, I started thinking about doing the musical portion that I wanted to do inside this venue in a more mobile setting. And when she came and talked about that, it was like, well, I wouldn't mind doing a Sprinter, like, hey, taking a Sprinter van, and I was wanting to actually gut that out and just have it set for the intimate setting inside of the van.
Right.
So we would travel all over and find local artists and pull up to those artists and allow them to tell their story in an intimate setting. It's like they could be emerging artists who had 10,000 followers, or they could, have 2,000 followers, but we would help elevate their platform, for the smaller talent versus the bigger talent, and just make sure that we give them that time to tell their story. Like, people love you for who you are. You have fans, but they don't really just get you. So to tell those same stories through those songs, like, in detail. So that whole thing was like set up, and we did like a whole visual of it. I had to do the pitch for it. We set it up inside the Greenwood Culture Center. So we had to show what it would look like if we had the van and all of that. So I did it. It was really cool, and everyone was like, "This is like the best pitch." I won the pitch. They were wanting to fund it, like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. Like, we're going to, go ahead and write your business plan for the Sprinter.
And when was this? What's the time frame?
February 2020. February 2020. Yeah. As soon as I won, the girl Kezia, the lady who was the actual teacher of the class or whatever, she has a huge platform. So she has like over 120,000 followers, give or take, and then she has another entrepreneur platform. She was like, we're going to promote you on that platform as the winner. So that was the thing. And then, of course, with TEDC, and they were ready to go on everything. Yeah, COVID snuck his little head on out.
Right.
Like, it had been a thing, I think, 2020, but no one knew what it was.
Yeah.
So, to find out the end of February into March that's what it was, and then close proximity things was not a thing. So it's trying to put people in a Sprinter at that time was like, absolutely not.
Not gonna work.
You cannot touch anyone.
Right.
That is not going to look right. Don't even, no. So that got kind of knocked out, the whole thing. No one was confident in doing that because it just didn't make any sense for what was going on. Right. I even had like a tech person that was trying to talk to me, trying to figure out something tech to do with it or something more visual or something. So we thought about a bunch of different things. So I had to do a quick pivot, what to do now. And I think that's with any business. You just kind of have to figure it out because anything can happen. So it's like I went from that to saying that we were going to have because it was Traveling Little Tea Party was the name of it, but we were going to have actual tea sponsors sponsor us per each episode. So we were going to call Lipton and all these different people and have them sponsor tea. But it was like, we don't have a product ourselves. So it's like, what are we going to do like for ourselves? Because like this doesn't really make money. So it's like, what do we do? So it was like, we just make our own tea. Shout out to Allie Shaw has been trying to get me to do that for like ever. Tea Rush should have her own tea. So I was like, you know what, we'll just have our own tea.
It's like one of the tea bags that have the little sayings on the tag. And all I could think about was like, it needs to be like your lyrics or something. And you are TEA Rush, Tea Rush. And then somehow this grows into My Tea Lounge. So essentially, Traveling Little Tea Party became My Tea Lounge, right? Which was an online business throughout the pandemic, but is now an actual, you in a spot downtown under the Atlas Life building sign. Like, what in the world? How did that even get to this place?
Yeah, so when we figured out how to do our own teas, we focused on health only. Like, because it was like, we can't do this with the music. We're trying to find ways to do it separate. Like, well, you record from here and we'll put it together and make all of this stuff happen. But then I just started focusing on health. So we had the teas, because the actual warm tea was helping with COVID, mucus, things like that, the type of healthy teas. And I started adding sea moss and bladderwrack and different things to it, which went
this
crazy.
This when I get to do my testimony about the sea moss, because it's like, I had COVID. And sea moss is very healing. However, before tea takes it and like breaks it down and turns it into a gel or whatever, it's actual sea moss, right? And she brought me some that I just chewed up and ate because I couldn't taste anything. But I tell people all the time, I swear that's what helped me get through it. Like, it really helped me in my healing process of COVID. And still to this day, I either buy the gel or I buy the capsules primarily now. Because they keep a little longer, of course. But yeah, I love the sea moss. So, and I like that you're focused on the health products.
Yeah. So that went crazy. So when people found out I had sea moss, I really didn't even have to sell it. Like, because I had been taking it, but people didn't really know about it until like, I don't know if it's Kim Kardashian or somebody big mentioned it, and it was just like, oh, we need sea moss, let's get sea moss.
Right.
So it was like, I heard you got it, need it. And it was just like it. So that was crazy. I really did really well actually with that. For the 2 years we were online, so I had to like can my idea of getting together in the sprinter with the music, which is my main thing is music, and we focused on health. And then I had this tea, so people were buying the tea, but not as much. It was just like strictly I want this because I'm sick and I need this. So that was 2 years. Things started opening back up a little bit after that, and then got a call from someone with Mother Row Market, Shakori, and a few other people had contacted me to put it inside Mother Row Market in different places to like advertise my tea there. So we actually were in a few stores. Then fast forward to October 2022, the same company with TDC actually contacted me and said, hey, so there's this deal that's happening for winter pop-ups, and this area, pretty much a lot of the businesses lost a lot of the jobs over there. There's a lot of spaces that are available, and they want to make it more exciting for the holidays, like having shopping areas just in the Deco area. So there's 9 different spaces. Wanted to know if you were interested in maybe trying your space, like trying one of those spaces, because we know you were still interested. We did actually come back to the conversation of, opening up a brick and mortar. They were still kind of iffy about it, but it was like, we'll try this and see, if that works or whatever, because I know that was your original plan. To see, it's like a 45-day thing, try it and see how it goes. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was on my way to Zanzibar prior to that. Like, I'm leaving. I'm going to Zanzibar.
To go see where the sea moss is actually coming from? Because you have family there?
I have family in Zanzibar.
Wow.
So, that not from Zanzibar, but moved
to
Zanzibar. Yeah, they moved to Zanzibar and been there for a long time. So I was going to visit there, but it was just like, I got this opportunity. Let me go ahead and see what this is like. So yeah, with the downtown committee in the Deco area, we just kind of did the application for it. They showed me the different spaces, and there was one space that was in the Field Tower that I actually seen in 2019, when I go back and think about it, that was with during the Black Upstart. Because we were looking at stuff in the different areas.
It used
we were
to be an Italian restaurant. It's called Tavolo.
Tavolo.
Which the sign is still up.
It's still up.
If you're looking for it, it's right up under that sign.
Yeah. So that space had been closed since 2019, period. And I remember that space. But yeah, so I saw that specific space. Actually, we were on a Zoom call. And then I went to go see it. And I was like, yeah, I want this one. So I hit him up and was like, Can I?
Well, what I think
Please.
is so dope that you're doing now too is that you've actually had some live performances in the space. It's
Yeah.
more than just it's a really dope spot for people to come and chill, have some tea,
Yeah.
get on their laptop and work a little bit, listen to music, vibe out, whatever. But just it makes me think of like Cheers,
Yeah.
like everybody knows your name type place.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing is that you've had these live shows, at the spot as well. So are you going to continue doing those?
Yeah, so fast forward. I pretty much got what I wanted to do at the beginning of that class. Like the whole idea that they told me to squash kind of got brought back to life.
So you divorced him, but y'all got remarried?
Got back. Came back and did. Got my ring. We ain't got married yet, but we still.
It's on paper.
I got it. But yeah, so my tea lounge became a thing after the 45 days because those places were still available for lease. So I am in the Field Tower, downtown, and it is set for. It was like a Starbucks with a stage. It's like my whole idea with that whole my tea lounge setup. So we do live performances. You can sip tea. You can get your health products, and we're still growing and. Trying to implement food and different things like
that. So this is why I started asking you about your business ventures as well, because the R&B Trailblazer Award to me encompasses all of that for you.
Yeah.
Not only are you an artist, a singer, writer, but you are a true child of Black Wall Street. That's what I have to say, because it's like there are so many of our mutual friends as well that are entrepreneurs and just doing all of these things, and you can't help but kind of get bitten by the bug, if you will, So I really wanted to focus on what are all these other things that you're doing as well. So shout out to you, T. Rush, and all of your accomplishments.
And I did get to come back to Travel Little Tea Party, so everything is like coming back.
Yes.
Full circle, so it's like my tea happened. Now Traveling Little Tea Party is now 501c3, where we can focus more on the individual artists and giving them that spotlight. So that's coming very strong.
Definitely more to come with that.
Yep.
We have a mission statement.
Yeah.
What's the website for Traveling Little Tea Party?
Oh, tltpteam.org. Yeah.
TLTP.
Yeah. Team.org. Yeah.
Okay. And Rush Fest will be happening in July,
Yeah.
the 13th through the 15th, Thursday through Saturday. More information there is
rushfestmusicfestival.com. Yes, so we start off with our Wellness Island wellness panel, just giving people information and introducing TOTP to everyone as well, Traveling Little Tea Party as well. So wellness is important, and I appreciate that everyone right now is focusing on wellness. So you have Juneteenth Legacy Fest. Everyone has been focusing on that, so it just kind of like goes into it.
Right.
Having panels in different ways and outlets for healing. And it could be through therapy, it could be through music, it could be through spiritual healing. So all of those will be available to you at the Rush Fest Self-Care Island on the 13th of July. And 14th and 15th we'll have our live music.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 nights music festival.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Excited.
Like tomorrow.
It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
All right.
This is huge. I didn't even talk about R&B that much, but yeah, this is big.
I just see all the things that you've been doing. Let me just say this. What's the name of the album? All of Me?
Yeah.
That you put out? I was at, just hanging out with some friends one night at around a pool. We were at a swimming pool. And the song came on. I think I played something off of Spotify. I don't remember which track it was. And one of the ladies there was like, "Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish I still had that CD. When is she going to drop this?" And she just would. And she said, "I had that on repeat that whole summer." It was like 2017. She would not quit talking about this album.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people do ask you that frequently. Where can I find your music streaming or whatever? Are you in the process? Because, I always want to be able to answer that question for people.
Well, because of the 15 things I just named off that I do in my life, I am going to come back to it. I have to, because that's like the root of me, like, period, is the music. So the seeds are out there because I do live performances and I give that to just kind of let people know that I am still here. I am still doing music, but getting in the studio and getting things, mixed and mastered and put out here for streaming. That is the goal for sure. By the end of the year, first thing next year, I definitely have to do it. Like, I cannot not do it because I hear it so much. So I have to do it.
So we can find you on T Rush.
T-Rush.
Spotify and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
things.
Yeah, you can pull up some stuff.
All the streaming platforms.
You got to come probably to this Tea Lounge or these live shows to catch this.
And you had a song in rotation on KJams.
I
and
do.
KGTO,
Of course.
So, you know,
Yeah.
we'll be able to find you. We got a lot of places to find
Yeah.
you. But
I'll be out.
congratulations, friend.
Thank you.
I'm going
Yeah,
to say
great.
friend.
Thank you.
In this moment.
Appreciate
because I'm
it.
so proud of you. And when I saw this come through, I was like, yes!
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Who all do I need to hug for this?
Whoever you want to hug
Everybody's
today.
neck. Oh, yeah, and again, I have to shout out to my stylist. We said this earlier. You see this beautiful, amazing look that I have going on. This is for, this is what I said, the Oklahoma Thunder that put out our lights and did this amazing thing to everyone in our city. So this is where this comes from. So it's natural beauty. So thank you, Tulsa. Appreciate it.
But who's your real stylist?
Oh, Atoria.
Atoria J
Yes,
Styling. Let's shout her out.
Yes, for sure. This is not her, but she does. But she does an amazing job, and I'm excited to call her Mans.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Once again, you can find T Rush online at TEA Rush on Instagram and all social media platforms. Rush Fest Music.
Music festival, yeah.
And rushfestmusicfestival.com is the actual website, and tltpteam.org.
MIT Lounge, downtown Tulsa,
MIT
427 South
Lounge.
Boston Avenue. Come see me.
What's the address again?
427 South Boston Avenue, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74103.
There you go.
Yep.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
T Rush.
you. Thanks.
Proud of you.
All right. Appreciate it.